Hi, it's Karen with Empowering True Health. And I want you to think about how often you go out to eat with your friends and family and how much eating is a part of socializing. Now, our social activities really do seem to involve food. So, if you've chosen to follow a whole food plant based eating pattern, these activities can become what we call crucial moments where you must make a decision. Now, am I going to readily eat, and it's really readily available, that junk food that so many places offer, or are you going to have a plan to honor your health choice? So I've listened to different plant-based chefs, read some different articles, and I have come up with some information that I'm going to share with you today on how to incorporate information into a plan so that you have it when you go out socializing with friends and family. It's easier to do it before you go and are in one of those situations because that way you know what to do instead of trying to think and end up just going with the flow. So the first suggestion involves just being involved in the decision making process of where you're going to eat. And this is when we're talking about going out for restaurants. Many restaurants today do have some sort of plant based offering. And if you're involved in that decision making process, you can have a say and maybe push people to go someplace that's a little healthier, that you would have something that you would enjoy. Now, something you might want to consider doing is keeping a list of places that you discover that have plant based options or other options that allow you to enjoy a good meal. And keep that list going so that when you are in one of those situations and you need an idea, you can go right to that list. How often do we need to come up with something and in the pressure of that moment, we can't remember anything? So then when you get to the restaurant, change your expectation of what a meal is going to look like. Typically it's been that big piece of meat with a side dish or some sort of sandwich and fries. So the side dishes themselves could actually be your meal, such as a baked potato or the vegetable of the day. You could order a salad without, for instance, the cheese and the bacon. For a salad dressing, consider using salsa or lemon juice or balsamic vinegar. If you are not sure the restaurant is going to have a salad dressing that you want to use, get a little container, put some in it, and take it yourself. And then, put it on the salad when it arrives. You can also inquire about how the food is made. Now, think about if an item can be baked instead of fried, or if they can leave off the butter or the oil. Now, you can ask when you get there, but they might appreciate it if you call ahead of time and talk to someone. And then that way, if you are changing it up a little bit, they're going to have a heads up and be ready for you when you come. And then another suggestion is get to know the chef at a local restaurant that you go to a lot. By establishing a relationship with him or her, they may work with you to include some healthier options on the menu. And then finally, think about portion control. Now, this is especially true if you have chosen to eat something that maybe is not the best for you. Share with somebody, or else ask for a take-home plate or box. And then when your plate comes right away, box half of it, and then you'll have the other half to eat. And you may think, oh, I'm just going to eat that, half and we'll be good. But how often, and I know I've done this, you're sitting there, you've left it, you're like, I can't eat this anymore. But you slowly graze at it as you are sitting and talking to whoever you are with. If it's in the box, it's going to make it a little harder to do. Another social situation we often find ourselves in is a gathering at a friend or family's home. Typical foods there contain a lot of fat and oil, and again, these are things we may be trying to eliminate. So a suggestion for this would be to let the host know ahead of time that you have changed your eating pattern, especially if they're not aware of it, and offer to bring a dish or maybe two that you know you will eat. I know I've done this before and it works out. And sometimes when the people that are there are eating your dish, they find out that it's actually good. So that's kind of a way to let people know, hey, plant-based meat dishes are actually good. Before you arrive, we've heard this before. Consider eating something so you don't go real hungry. Someone also says to drink some water ahead of time as well. Most of the gatherings have a fruit and vegetable plate. Eat the fruits and vegetables, as many as you want, but avoid the dip that's with them. And then when you are going to actually get the food, seek out the smallest plate possible. And these might be on the dessert table. Studies have shown that the plate size influences how much food we take. And so the smaller the plate, the less food we take. Unless, of course, you're just going to be eating salad or something, take that biggest plate that you want. The other thing that researchers have found is that it is best to sit as far away from the food as possible, especially if it's just being left out. That way, you actually have to get up, walk to the food, and they claim, and I guess my thought is if you're not still deep involved in conversation here, that that's going to give you time to think about what you're doing, and you may actually make a different choice before that food gets on your plate. Finally, if you are the one hosting, of course, you can control the food that you are offering. But if you do have food that you don't want left over because you might eat it and it goes against what you're trying to do, plan ahead and have some containers on hand so that you can fill them with any leftovers and send those home with your guests. Now, if you only eat at a restaurant or occasionally go out to a party, once a week or so, then that time out might be your treat. Give yourself permission to eat the food that's being offered, knowing that tomorrow you're going to return to your healthy ways. And I, proclaim or teach that, it's not perfection, it's a pattern. So in the end, the purpose of being with our friends and family is to socialize and connect. So focus on the people you are with instead of the food. And planning ahead will allow you to relax and enjoy those people that you are with and have some fun. So please hit the thumbs up button if you like this video, share it with other people, subscribe to this channel, and until the next video, be healthy.